It's come to this, Gareth. It's come to this. Listen, me and you, we've had this for 3 months now, whether it was on, whether it was off. I was trying to say it was off. It then looked like it was on. It's now off, and now it's come to this, and they've got to do it, surely.
Yeah, they have got to do it. Liverpool, the form side in the league. Crystal Palace are one of the worst sides in the league, form-wise. Slightly skewed by the fact that they played some decent sides recently, but they are still Crystal Palace under Roy Hodgson. Roy Hodgson's done his last press conference for them and been negative about the chances. Of course he has, because that's what Roy Hodgson does.
What a fella.
It's basically, for me, Palace, it's coming down to like 3 players, isn't it? It's Zaha, Benteke and Eze. Is it?
Yeah.
Those 3.
Eze's out. So.
Is he out?
Yeah,
Happy days then. I didn't even know that. So there you go. So it's down to 2 then. So you've got 2 fellas really that you need to keep an eye on. Who can cause you a problem, who can score a goal. But I thought it was telling him, Klopp's press conference today, that there was a bit where he was asked about, will you be keeping up to speed with what's going on in the other games and all that kind of stuff. And he basically said no. And then he went, someone might come and tell me if something mad's happened, like Leicester have scored a load of goals or whatever. And he said, and then maybe we'll go up a gear. And then he sort of corrected himself and went, we'll be top gear anyway.
Yeah.
And it was sort of like, hello. Do you know what I mean? And I just think since Newcastle, when he said, I'm not seeing a side here that wants to be in the Champions League, and I think he must have bollocked them behind the scenes after that. They turned it around the last month, and they're going at the rate of about 89 points if it was across the course of a season, and that's the real Liverpool. So I think Crystal Palace have got no chance against the real Liverpool.
They've got to start in that gear. That to me is the big thing, Paul. In that they can't let their own doubt creep in, and I'm worried about the doubt. I'm worried about them getting themselves. I'm worried about a couple of good saves. Gareth says he's worried about 2 of theirs. I'm worried about a third, which is their keeper. Their keeper. I'm not saying he's a great keeper. He's the sort of keeper who's capable of world ease, though, and that's what mildly concerns me. The one thing we don't want to do is encourage them or give us any doubt.
You've got to do your job. Isn't he the same keeper that we put 7 past?
He is.
So
excellent point.
He wasn't so good that day. Liverpool do the job. They win. Gareth's right. And talk about a team that doesn't look like they want the Champions League football, and I think I've rightly slagged them off over the course of this season, but at the moment they look motivated, and it's sort of for the first time, and it makes me wonder whether they needed the carrot, and that being dangled in front of them seems to have motivated them. I think it's coincided with some people finding their feet, some players finding their feet, and some finding their form. So Thiago's obviously really changed things for Liverpool. Also, maybe an underrated Firmino has really come back to being the player that he used to be, and the one that has played so big moments for Liverpool. And then I think them 2 have linked up pretty nicely. It's like having 2 real creative forces that you can't quite handle. And I think sometimes I still think we're a bit obvious, but we look determined. And I'd say for the first time we look determined, like the Liverpool that used to find the last minute goal, like I know came through Alisson Becker in one of them, but that's what Liverpool used to do. It was the Sadio Mane of Villa. It was we weren't swashbuckling sort of. We weren't the most appeasing Liverpool team I've seen on the eye in the title win. I'd say the season before, even the season before that. Aesthetically, Liverpool were the best in terms of free flow and attacking football, but we won and we find ways to win, and we've now found ways to keep clean sheets or limit the amount of goals we concede, and also go up the other end and score.
The fine line on the chances, I think, is interesting, Johnny, in that I think a few weeks back, even when we were still winning the games on this little run, I felt like we weren't making enough of our chances and our chances to create chances. I think we've toppled the other side of that now. It's interesting, it's 2 against West Brom. Feels like it should have been more. They end up putting 3 past Burnley, it's 4 past United. I feel like the chances have got a bit better, and the way they're taking them's got a bit better. And both of those things almost feel separate to each other, but maybe they're not. Maybe they're just playing better.
I think you think back to the United game. Like if we'd have scored 5 or 6 in that game, I don't think it would have been. It would have been unfair. I think the combination that Paul mentioned there of Firmino and Thiago. I think Trent also. Trent's building a brilliant understanding with Thiago, and I just think. We go back to this thing we've talked about for years. It's about having a significant number of belters in your team, and Thiago's now turned into the belter that when we watched him against Chelsea away, he looked imperious, and he had a bit of a hiatus in between. He's had some fitness problems. Now he's that additional belter in the team that elevates other players around him. And okay, we've been carrying 1 or 2 that have been a little bit off the boil, but right now. I think you'd be mad to bet against Liverpool, I think.
Hello Reds, thanks for watching a preview of our video there. If you want to watch the full thing, just click join below and you'll get the full video as well as the rest of our premium package, including all you need before and after every Liverpool game. We'll throw in a few perks too, including discounts at the Anfield Wrap shop. Get it! So click join, get involved, see you on the other side. Up the Reds.